first time I was criticized as a leader, I smiled, nodded, and said, I understand. Thank you so much for the feedback. But what I actually meant was, oh my goodness, I messed up. I messed up bad, y'all. I don't know what to do. I think they hate me. I don't know what to do. Oh, I know what to do. I think I'm gonna go home and cry. Have you ever been in the same situation as me before? The feeling that you're too much. Why do I overthink too much? Why do I feel too much? Even though I try to fake my image as a strong, unaffected leader, but internally in my mind, I know myself well that I'm not strong at all. And from all of the situations made me realize something about myself again. I realized I'm not the kind of leader who can simply brush things off. I feel things deeply. I feel it in my chest, I feel it in my stomach, I feel it in my whole body. On the other hand, whenever you think of a perfect leader, you think of someone who is completely opposite of me. Basically, someone who doesn't cry in the bathroom or in front of their staff like I did here. We think of someone who is unshakable, someone who gets criticized and all they thought was, okay, whatever, let's just go back to work. So all this makes me think that a sensitive, emotional person like me could never be anybody's leader, especially in a diverse community. But today, I'd like to tell the old version of Care, oh, how so wrong she was. Today, I've learned that sensitivity is not weakness in leadership, but it's a strength that allows leader to be able to lead with an open heart. So, as I mentioned before, whenever we think of a leader, you think of someone who is strong, right? Especially strong in terms of their mind. We think that a perfect leader, no matter what situation they face, whether it's a pressure situation, a situation that couldn't be avoided, or when their team make mistake, that perfect leader always stepped up, be the strongest person in a team, and could lead their team to the finish line. And there's totally nothing wrong with that, right? It's a good thing that a leader can be tough enough to shield their team from those chaos. But when we take a look at things from different point of view, some of these strong leaders, they eventually turns into a robot. Just a robot with no feeling, a robot that follow work instruction manuals. And what happens when you become a robot? You're becoming numb to your own feelings. And once you step up to be a leader, you're becoming numb to other people's feelings as well. And that is when you stop connecting with people. In a diverse community where there are differences in terms of race, cultures, and backgrounds, when you are numb to your own feelings and other people, it's like you're creating this big wall between you and your team. And in a diverse team, that wall is really dangerous. Because people, they come from different cultures, they express themselves differently. Silence doesn't always mean agreement. Speaking up doesn't always mean disrespect. If you are numb, you can miss those simple details and you stop seeing everyone as a unique individual and you're just gonna start treating everyone just the same. So, how can you create a safe team when you are a cold, unfeeling robot? You can't. Robots are efficient, but robots don't make people feel safe. Humans do. There's a fascinating research on this. Google spent years studying their own team in a massive study called Project Aristotle. They wanted to know why some teams stumbled and others soared. They take a look at their IQ, they take a look at experience level, they even take a look at the personality types. And do you know what the number one predictor of a high-performing team was? It was its strong leadership. It was psychological safety. The feeling that you won't be punished for making a mistake. The feeling that you can be human. So, at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? The leaders, the followers, we're all humans. And being humans mean we're not built to be empty inside, but we're built to feel. And I realized that when you're trying to be unaffected, it actually makes you blind. You can't see. And when you blocked out your own emotion, you stop paying attention to the people in front of you, and you stop noticing all the small details. And in a diverse team, you cannot afford to be blind to those things. You need to be fully awake on how people feel, not shut down. And instead of asking myself, how can I become tougher? I started asking myself instead, how do I lead better? Because I feel deeply. And I'm not the only one asking this question. There's a study from Center for Creative Leadership. They analyzed data from over 6,700 managers across 38 nations. And they found that empathy is positively related to job performance. They found that the managers who were rated as empathic by their team is the same leader who were rated as highest performances by their bosses. So this shows that feeling deeply doesn't make you weak. According data to 38 nations, it makes you capable. Therefore, I have accepted that I am a sensitive person, and I realize that whenever I'm feeling hurt, worried, or nervous, it is not weakness. It's actually data. It is information that allows me to pick up on things that robot people miss. I noticed the silence in the room when everyone was nodding. I can sense the hesitation when the team members say, yes, ka. And I can feel the tension before it becomes a conflict. So when I'm talking about you being an emotional or sensitive leader, I don't actually mean for you to bawling in the middle, working, go cry in the bathroom. But I mean for you to lead with your emotional borders open. It's like you are sending a message to your team members that I see you, I hear you, I am human just like you, and because I'm human, I can understand your humanity regardless of where you come from. This became crystal clear to me when I led student committee made up of students from different countries, different backgrounds, and definitely different mindsets. And I remember this one specific event when I was giving them the feedback on their performance for their position in that event. So, I do my same old routine. I started calling everyone to gather together. Let's do a quality check session together. And I started giving out feedback one by one from one position to another. You? I think you did good today. Yeah, I love what you did. You? I think you could have done better. If I were a robot leader, I would have just seen people nodding, say yes, and then, okay, let's go home, job is done. But because I tend to feel deeply, I tend to overthink, I saw that one of my staff members' mood was shifted. I take a look at them and I think to myself, was I being too harsh or was my feedback too direct? I couldn't stop thinking about that staff, so I immediately went up to them and asked, hey, are you okay? Did I say something wrong? And it turns out that they said the feedback that I was giving them, it was actually too harsh for them. It was too aggressive, and they were really hurt by my feedback. And instead of defending myself, I sat down with them, apologized, and we have this open conversation about how we can communicate better moving forward. Now, I know that for other people in that room, they were okay with my feedback, right? Like, they were fine. But this doesn't make my one specific staff member, this one, weak or wrong for feeling hurt. Because in a diverse team, people receive information differently. What sounds honest to one culture might sound aggressive to another. And as for me, as a leader, it is not my job to force everyone to feel the same. It is my job to make sure that my staff feel safe. Therefore, that is when sensitivity helps me, because I allow myself to feel the discomfort, to overthink. I was able to truly understand my staff point of view, and we started to get together better along again as a team. And that is the power of transformative leadership. It is not about transforming people into followers, but it's about transforming moments of disconnection into connection. And you can only do that if you are willing to feel. This brings me to the heart of my message for today: making fellow feel safe as an emotional leaders. Look at the world we're leading in right now. It is fast, it is chaotic, it is definitely uncertain. We're leading people who are anxious about their futures. We're leading people who are burned out. And we're leading people who comes from different emotional world. In times like this, being strong is no longer enough, because strength without empathy creates fear, and fear is not where growth happened. So my invitation to you for today is, if you are a leader or if you are becoming one, stop asking yourself, how do I look strong? But start asking yourself instead, do the people around me feel safe? How can I make them feel safe? Safe enough to speak up, safe enough to make mistakes, safe enough to be human. And the next time when you receive criticism, the next time a conversation makes your chest feel tight, or the next time you feel emotional, uncomfortable, unsure, I want to tell you that don't push it down. Don't tell yourself, I'm too sensitive. Pause, breathe in, and listen to it and recognizing it for what it is. Because it is not weakness. It is data, it is signal, it is your emotional intelligence telling you that people in front of you, they need safety, not authority. And as for our emotional leaders, our job is not to be perfect at all. Our job is to make sure our fellow feel seen, heard, and protected enough to become their best self. So don't try to be a robot. Robots don't build trust. Be human, lead with feeling, and dare to create a safe space where people don't have to hide who they are. Because when fellow feel safe, they don't just follow, they grow. Thank you.